وَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ 300 سِنِينَ وَازْدَادُوا تِسْعًا. وَلَبِثُوا, and they remained, فِي كَهْفِهِمْ, in their cave, 300 سِنِينَ, for 300 years. 300 years, so we just add the word for, because preposition is required to complete the sentence in the English language. Then there's a comma. Wow is there, so it starts a new part of the sentence. Wa, and izdadu, they added, this and 9, they added 9. What does it even mean? So this is very beautiful construct. It's very unhuman-like construct. So when we discussed about the verse pertaining to the number of youths, whether 3, 5 or 7, and we have already discussed that, the difference of opinion with this aspect for how long they remained in the cave, the difference of opinion that existed between people is just these two, whether it was 300 years or 309 years. So this was the difference of opinion that ever existed in history, and how beautifully it has been addressed. That some of them said 300 years, some of them said 309 years, and they apparently they had that conflict amongst each other, between each other, the two groups. But they did not even realize something very interesting. I mean, this I've explained the construct, and they added 9, which is unclear, and that is some of them, have added 9 to it. So claiming 300 years plus 9 would be 309 years. So that's the difference, right? The difference of opinion. So it's basically, so now in that verse, when we're talking about 3, 5 or 7, there was a refutation to the first two statements and an attestation to the last statement, the third one. But here, there is no such refutation or attestation. So what does it even mean? Are these simultaneously true? Yes, it is. And you would say, how could it be simultaneously true? These are two different numbers. 300 years is not 309 years. But then, look at the beauty of it. It is actually simultaneously true because they remain in the cave for 300 years in terms of solar years. And that happens to be 309 years in terms of lunar years. So what would have been a common human language? They stayed in the cave for 300 years. I mean, firstly, if we did not know about the subject, then probably we would have written something like this. They stayed in the cave for 300 years according to some, and according to others, they stayed in the cave for 309 years. Assuming we know that why this difference is there, lunar versus solar years, then probably would have said they stayed in the cave for 300 years in terms of solar years, and they stayed in the cave for 309 years in terms of lunar years. That would have been human construct. But look how beautiful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put it. He says, capturing the difference of opinion amongst the two groups who were arguing with each other, because there was no third opinion. So 300 years, and some have added 9 to it in their count. So that makes it 309. So the solar years and the lunar years, as well as the conflict, and everything comes together with the usage of just a short verse, short ayat. And they remained in the cave for 300 years, and that is, some of them have added 9 to it. So now this verse in itself is clear. Is this a point of contention? I mean, is this something very important? Not really. Just as 3, 5 or 7 was not that important for us, we know which one it is. Similarly, this was not really important. The miracle is not whether it was 300 years or 309 years, irrespective of whichever it was, because those were the only two opinions amongst the people in general. There was no third opinion. So irrespective of which was the correct point, had we not known the correct answer, now we know both are simultaneously true. Had we not known, even then, irrespective of which is correct, 300 or 309, it's still a miracle. And the very fact that there is no refutation and there is no attestation as compared to that particular verse which we hinted at, I mean, talked about 3, 5 or 7. So this sort of indicates then that, okay, this is simultaneously true, and then we are forced to think, okay, how? And then we realize, okay, this is what it is talking about, and this is beyond human narrative capabilities, beyond human narration. It's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one else can speak like this. I mean, you can appreciate now that it's in front of our eyes, but otherwise, no, we don't. Our storytelling is not like this. So that's it then. Beautiful, beautiful verse. And okay, let's read it one more time. وَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ 300 سِنِينَ وَازْدَادُوا تِسْعًا, and they remained in the cave for 300 years, and that some of them have added 9 to it. beautiful translation, I mean, beautiful verse, and we have tried our best to sort of render it in a manner which retains some of its beauty. We'll move on with the next verses in the future sessions.